Welcome back to Local 4 News Over Coffee, live in Muscatine. Last year we saw fairs and summer festivals canceled, no swimming pools open, certainly not the kind of summer we were used to enjoying in this area. Not the case in Muscatine so much. The Parks and Recreation Department found a way to provide things for families to do. Right now, Rich Climbs with the Parks and Rec Department, along with Mayor Dan Broderson, join me again. Great to see you both again. Rich, we're going to start with you. Weed Park and the Riverfront Trail, already attractions in this area. What do both offer people who just want to enjoy the outdoors?
Passive recreation opportunities where you can social distance. You can have group gatherings if you wish at the pool. In the trails, you can be as spaced out as you want, so it meets every COVID-19 safeguard that there is.
Mayor Broderson, what are some of the things in the works for the Riverfront?
Oh boy, we've been working on our riverfront for a couple of years, and we have a long-range plan that we've been working on. One thing that we're in the process of right now is an arboretum, and we're working on that. We're working on a band shell. We really want to make sure that we have a space down there where we can hold concerts, we can have different events come in and be out of the rain and have the electricity they need and make it really good for our community. So that's going to be the next thing you're going to see is the band shell.
Arboretum certainly lovely too when you talk about the flowers arranged in
Yes.
such a way that can be really spectacular. I guess what kind of time frame are you looking for both? Obviously these are longer range plans, but what kind of time frame are you looking at?
I think in the next year we'll have several of those done. And then we're looking at working on our riverfront all the way down. So there's a lot of different things that we want to do. We put together a great big long range wish list, and as with the funding becomes available, we're just checking them off as we go.
I'm sure there'll be an opportunity to have a lot more festivals as well.
Absolutely.
Great way to showcase the city.
Yes, our community really likes to gather for events and activities, and every time there's one available, they come out and spend time together, you know, enjoying time with your neighbors. There's nothing like it.
Rich Climbs, what kind of activities did the Parks and Recreation Department offer people last year when things were sort of closed off?
But one of the things we focused on is we kept reading the mandates, we kept reading the proclamations, we kept seeing what wasn't allowed, what we shouldn't do, what the restrictions were. So we changed it. We changed the mindset and we said, okay folks, what can we do? What can we do to get the community engaged? What can we do to get them involved? And what we can do was be ready on the call as soon as a mandate got lifted. We didn't have to wait a long time period. We had programs and things in place, in the can, so to speak. Did a lot of virtual programming, did a virtual community center, did virtual tours of the community. We did simple things like photo contests. Go around and take a picture of the best lighted house in town on July 4th and at Christmas, and then have a photo contest for that. A virtual fishing derby. We saw a lot of fish in pictures, and a lot of young kids with parents. We saw a lot of 2-3 pod families, grandparents, in parks separated, which was really neat to see over the lunch periods and in the evenings.
So clearly it was well received. Do you plan to keep any of these going?
We absolutely do. We will keep all of them going, combining that with our normal program offerings. It was a way for us to listen to the community and see how can we further the engagement and the activity to build civility, to build people getting out and staying connected with each other.
What was it like for you personally to see that reaction? Because of course you're just trying things just to keep people engaged at a time when it was very easy to be isolated. What was it like to see that reaction?
You know, I've been doing this over 30 years full time, and to see the facilities closed, to see the playgrounds closed, it was heartbreaking. Because the joy is seeing people engaged and involved. And then when staff turned the corner and said, okay, what can we do? Then that was inspiring for everybody, and it called on to other groups in town and other things in town. I mean, we collaborate with over 150 nonprofit groups in our community, putting on over 100 special events annually to see those go in half during COVID. And then what was really cool, Jim, is we weren't sure how things were going to come out of the pandemic. We didn't know if we were going to see a little bit like this. No, we saw this in our community on the partition basis going on.
And you
that's
could
really
see
cool.
with revenue losses too how Parks and Recreation might be pushed to the side. It wasn't in your case. Why did you feel so important to keep supporting parks?
Because we know community involvement engagement is what keeps our community connected. That's what keeps our community healthy in many social aspects. And so yes, funding streams dried up, funding streams got difficult, but we were able to look at our 150 seasonal staff we hire in a year, and we were able to look at what can they do, what can we do to support and bring in a little bit of revenue. One of those things was to create small pod recreation groups. Instead of groups of 20 and 30 doing a program, now we went down to 3 to 5 people in a group doing a program and still met the COVID safety requirements and still had activity and involvement, kept people employed, kept people engaged, still brought money in. Met a lot of the metrics we needed to hit.
Rich Clemps with Muscatine's Parks and Recs, Mayor Dan Broderson. Great to talk with you again. Thank you both for your time. Straight ahead, last year was certainly one for the books. That holds true for the Musser Library, where we are this afternoon. How it continued to serve people during the pandemic on Local 4 News over coffee.